Mic's on? Yep. Hot mic. I'd like to welcome you all to our meeting tonight. I am Vice President Tyler Bluth, acting for President Tom Hansen, who is absent tonight. I'd like to just start, I think, with a roll call for the board.
Mary Ann B. Allen, board member.
Paul Sweat, superintendent.
Tyler Bluth, Vice President.
Corey Holmes, board member.
Kim Dickerson, board member.
Keith Johansson, business administrator.
So tonight, I think we have a great opportunity to have the AFJROTC from our high school present the colors tonight. So we're going to turn the time over to you.
Team, active, put, carry, coach.
Everyone please rise for the pledge of allegiance.
Present, coach.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order, coach. Ready, march.
You can be seated.
Could you have those guys come back in? We can recognize them. You guys are awesome. So thanks for coming.
They just have to put everything
Yeah,
against the wall.
have them pivot back in here. Hey, could you come and to the pulpit and kind of just tell us about yourselves?
I'm Cadet Major Meg Harris. I'm a fourth-year senior at JROTC, and I really love the program all my 4 years, and I'm excited to be graduating this year.
Nice.
Let's have you guys step to the mic so we can get this
Yeah.
on the recording. And
Tell us a little bit about your uniform, what the corps, what your medals are.
Okay, so since I've been doing this for 4 years, I like to say I have a lot of bling. So this is my public affairs cord, and it's for writing the newspaper articles, taking the pictures, running our Instagram, and running our website, as well as designing and editing videos for JROTC. I've got my Kitty Hawk badge for being like tutoring other cadets and just being one of those like mentors for other people. I have my badge of excellence for having a 3.0 or higher for my high school, like for all of high school. I have a 4.0 right now. And then I have my Distinguished Cadet Award, which was just kind of like a recognition for me for last year of being like one of the highest ranking third-year cadets that we have.
what was your name again?
Decorated.
I'm Meg Harris.
Meg, what are you planning on doing after high school?
I really want to go into AFROTC, and I'm looking at my top college right now is like Penn State or University of Pennsylvania, and I really want to swim in college as well.
Terrific, thanks.
Hi, I'm Preston Barker. I am a second-year sophomore, and I obviously don't have as much stuff as Meg, but I do have a drill cord. You get this for being on the drill team, spinning rifles, and the APT pin. You get this for presenting helpful PowerPoints to middle schoolers and elementary school kids about how to be a better high schooler and how to succeed in life.
And what are your plans after high school?
Trying to get through high school.
I want to go into the Air Force and be a combat medic or play football in college.
Nice.
Excellent.
That's true.
Go to the
There you go.
academy.
What about all the ribbons?
Yeah, there's an assortment of ribbons. You order these ribbons from highest ranking, you could say, to lowest ranking. This one. Yeah. This one, this red and black one, is the Baton Death March. You get this for participating in a march to honor fallen soldiers when they had to do the Death March. And there's a bunch of, like, there's a cord for drill and other LDRs that you can get. And you get these by competing in various activities through ROTC.
Nice.
I'm Dustin Nielsen. I'm a third-year junior, and I'm not very involved in JROTC, so I don't have as much stuff as Megan, Preston, but I have one ribbon that Preston doesn't, because freshman year, it was through COVID, so I got this ribbon representing that I made it through a whole year with COVID.
They had a COVID resiliency.
No way.
And they gave out to every cadet that
Nice.
finished their course in the 2019, 2020. Yeah, so we made it through COVID ribbon.
Awesome. We all need one, don't we? And you, what are you doing after?
I'm not sure though, but I'm hoping to do what my brother is doing. He's in the Army National Guard Reserves right now, and he's doing his AIT training.
Nice.
So,
Awesome. Thank you.
Small but mighty, we call her.
My name's Cadet Staff Sergeant Aubrey Crumpton. I am a second-year sophomore cadet, and I'm highly involved in JRTC. I have a marksmanship badge, so that means I shoot at least 170, 180 out of 300 during a competition. I have a drill team cord, so I participate in that and wake up every morning and be at the school by 6:30 to start spinning rifles. I have various,
Ribbons.
Thank you. Ribbons. I have Tuskegee Airman, which is a national award given by
So
I'm
we
special,
pick
it says.
those ribbons, those awards for cadets who do exceptionally well at the end of every school year. So we call it a national award. Only 1 or 2 cadets per unit will get that each year.
Any questions about any of my bling?
What are your future plans?
My future plans, I want to go to the AF ROTC at USU, get my bachelor's in psychology, do a minor in business. Then I plan on doing my time in the Air Force, coming back or getting my EMTA in high school, or EMTB, coming back and becoming an EMT.
Excellent.
Wow.
Well pointed out.
See, I have a plan. I got a plan.
Good evening. I am Cadet Senior Master Sergeant Cadence Crumpton, her older brother, if that means anything. I'm not sure if it does. I am currently the commander of marksmanship. This is my 3rd year on drill team, and I am a 4th-year cadet. I'm wearing the marksmanship cord tonight, as well as, of course, my ranks that I've earned over time. But these cadets have done a lot in their time. Even if they're in here for only 1 year, they do put in so much work just to earn the ranks and everything they have on now. Everything with ribbons from longevity to the 3 national awards I have up top. But some of the hardest ones to earn actually come from us working together as a team in our flights, which is pretty much our class periods, but using each other as something to help push us to be better in our classes, in school, outside of school, in our friendships and relationships, and overall helping with our discipline and being better people.
Thanks.
What are you planning on doing?
My future plans include starting off with a bachelor's in kinesiology and then moving on and getting my master's for physical therapy to be a physical therapist, most likely in sports medicine.
Nice.
Excellent. You have a physical therapist here on the board with us. Excellent.
I'll try not to talk you out of it. That's great. It's a great field. It really is.
Thank you, sir.
Right now, the question was how many cadets do we have in the program? Currently, we have 65 now. We added 2 new cadets the start of term 2 from the student population. Students can add JROTC at any time. We'll get them spun up, whatever needs to happen to get them started. They can just roll right into the curriculum of what we have. So our goal is a lot high. We need to get it to 100. The highest we've had since I've been here was about 77, so we sit between 62 and 80. We started the year with 78, students will tend to drop when they realize they have to cut their hair, especially the young men, the bullets are back, in case you haven't seen that. Or they feel like just wearing the uniform, it's hard for them, it's peer pressure, you're a high school student, to wear a uniform and cut your hair. So we're hoping to get to 100, because we need to, actually. We're on probation for not being at 100 cadets.
Something else I want to mention is another reason they dropped is they realize it's not a reform program to make their kids become better all the time.
Do you wear uniforms weekly at a certain time? Do you have a kind of a day in the week?
Usually it's once a week.
Okay.
We wear it. And we switch between ABUs, this is our service dress, or just short sleeve blues or long sleeve blues.
So I was gonna ask about the haircut, so, okay, now, I was in the Air Guard, so I get this from a real standpoint, but, so who enforces it? You?
We do, yeah. But actually, no. Who enforces it? Who does the inspections?
We do.
The flight
Yeah.
instructor and flight deputy are the ones that actually, the flight commander and flight deputy are the ones that actually enforce the regulation of the uniform in our inspections.
Well, at least you didn't shave all their heads, to start the school year.
But, however, there's a cut.
Oh, yeah,
So,
absolutely.
those cadets, those male cadets on drill team, come January, prior to our first competition, we will get the clippers out and they will get a one, we call it, and they will get their hair buzzed.
One on the side, two on the top.
Yeah, because we inspect at the competitions, active duty, guard, reserve, military will inspect the flights prior to drill.
Oh, okay.
And they have to be sharp in their uniform, and our team standard is the gentlemen will have their hair shaven and the females will have their hair up. There's so many different standards now,
What
it's
is the
changed.
standard? Is it what is it, ponytail?
Ponytail, 2 braids, 1 braid, a bun, or short enough for your collar. And I've done all of the above.
Can I turn around real quick? So we also do, permission to touch?
Yeah.
That's just a thing we ask to respect people's.
Permission to touch?
Yeah. So the armpit line, it cannot be longer than this line right here from your armpit. So mine's a lot shorter because I'm short, but we have this one cadet that can wear their hair like down here and it's still not past her armpits. So that's our general line because everybody's different and everybody's body is different.
So, yeah, it's the same standards as active duty.
So you guys stay right there, and Colonel Harris, why don't you come to the mic and just introduce yourself to the board and tell us just briefly, a couple minutes about yourself and.
My name is Lieutenant Colonel retired Denise Harris. I was active duty Air Force for 23 years, commissioned through Air Force ROTC at Penn State, go Lions. They paid for my whole 4 years of college. I had got an ROTC scholarship and they paid for 4 years. I owed them 4 and I was going to get out at 4. I was only doing it to pay for school. And met my husband at school, we both commissioned and loved every assignment, so as long as we were stationed together, we kept going, so we pretty much had to retire because once you pass 10, you gotta keep going, the retirement is at 20 on active duty, so we stayed for 23 years. I flew satellites, I was space operations, so I'm very STEM oriented, flew satellites, helped with rocket development, satellite development, tracked all of the stuff that's orbiting Earth right now, worked nuclear ICBMs. My husband was an engineer, so I operated it. If I broke it, he fixed it. So it was really good.
Your husband a lion too?
Yes, he is.
Is he?
Yeah, we were,
Little while.
we call it a ROTC romance, so yeah, and that's the pair up in the Corps. We kind of have it in ours too, but anyways. So yeah. In fact, we have 2 others, speaking of cadet couples, we have 2 other cadets in the audience. Kayla Fisher is a 3rd-year junior, and Jeff Drury is a 4th-year senior. So they're here in support of us. I encourage them to come. I know we're all busy. So yeah, I retired in 2014, my husband in 15, and we moved here in summer of 15. But this job didn't come open for me until the fall of 19. So.
How are you enjoying your time at Wasatch High?
Love it.
So,
I was a substitute teacher before I came on board full time, so it's a wonderful valley. We love it.
so are you, just kind of getting out in the weeds here, but, so are you paid as a teacher through the district? Or
No.
are you paid?
So, we are paid, so there's a contract, with the Air Force, between the district and the Air Force. So my salary is split between the school district and the Air Force. So the Air Force, the school district will pay my salary, and then the Air Force will pay the district back half that month, right? So it's a payback system, a reimbursement system that goes electronic deposit that Keith runs. Yeah.
Like clockwork.
Yeah, I would hope so. So our salary is set based on our active duty rank. So there's we call it a MIP formula, minimum instructor pay. And so what were you when you retired? 05, Lieutenant Colonel, 23 years. That's your starting pay. Housing for an 05 currently gets added to that. Allowances get added to that. My retirement gets subtracted from that, my retirement pay. And then that bottom line number is what the district and the Air Force pay. So, to be honest, since I have the mic, that is something that we might have to look at adjusting. In the future, when I do leave this position, that might be not paying above the MIP, we call it, will prevent people from applying to the job that's open. Right, so that's actually a struggle nationwide, because as officers and senior enlisted, like Dalen, my partner, we get hired in the commercial sector pretty easily, right? And so it's hard for an 05 to retire and take a job where they're not making more than what they left government service.
But we're good for the next 10 or 12 years.
No, sadly, no. So,
Are you aware, Colonel Harris, are you aware of how many programs there are at high schools in the state of Utah? I know
7 Air Force, 7 Air Force only, 4 Army, 2 Navy. We are the only unit in the Wasatch back.
Yeah, so I would remind the board and our guest today that it's a very sought after thing, and it's hard to qualify to get one of these units at your school. And I remember as we went through that, Mr. Todd Johnson was our principal, and we went through a pretty rigorous selection process that turned out very well for us. We had a I don't know if he was a retired colonel or he was a very high-ranking gentleman that came and had some pretty outstanding things to say about Wasatch High after his visit, and we actually got fast-tracked and got our program a year earlier than what was planned for. And we're very proud of this program at Wasatch High, and we really appreciate and want to acknowledge all the hard work that you do, Colonel Harris, and that each of the cadets do, and we really appreciate you coming tonight. And I think it would be a couple of things. Well, I think it would be nice to get a picture with the board and with all of you, either here in front or over here. And then, Principal Jarvie, did you want to make any comments tonight?
So you'll notice there's a slide deck I left. I took down a big deck to a very small deck, and we're not even hitting that right now, so that's totally fine. You'll see on there, and she posted that second slide, that's all the clubs and teams that the cadets participate in through JROTC. It's all what they want to do, because they have to run those. So there are cadet commanders, like Cadence is the cadet commander for marksmanship. We have to have a cadet to lead these, or they don't happen, because I'm not leading all of them. We are guiding them, but this is completely hands-on experience for each of the cadets. They are learning how to lead as a freshman, and then the more experience they get, the more responsibility we throw on them. And all of those are stuff that they want to do. And in fact, Cyber Patriots they're competing right now. The reason why my partner Dalen couldn't be here and some other cadets is because they're doing their Cyber Patriot competition online, and it's like from 4 to 10, it's a 6-hour window, and they're competing cybersecurity against other JROTC units right now. So that's a new competition team that we've started. But all of those, that's how they get all the ribbons, is doing that stuff. And in fact, we have the trophy right there. The academic bowl team, we're second in the entire Air Force this summer. We have an academic decathlon team. They compete online in November, make it to round 2, that's February. top 16 teams from all Air Force teams, and we started with 585 teams last year. We made the top 16, went to DC in June for the first time we've ever qualified, right? And I'm so proud of these kids, placed second.
Nice.
Jeff is on it. Jeff and Meg. Callie is at Cyber Patriot right now, and Wyatt's at the cross-country fundraiser, right? Because our cadets are involved in a bunch of other stuff, too. And we were the first team ever from the state of Utah, any service, JROTC, to qualify for nationals in its history. So, and they came in second. And we got beat in one match in the finals by the team that has won the all-service national champions for like the last 5 years. So.
Is it a different high school, a military school?
No, Scripps Ranch High School in San Diego, California. It's a regular public school. This is their thing. Like this, this is their thing, yeah. Yeah. So our goal, we compete again in November, is to go back to nationals. That's awesome. But we were happy, they did fantastic. And we're state winners in drill, state winners in Raider. So in every place we compete, we do well at what we're doing. And so.
That's the
Excellence in all we do.
Wasatch way.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sorry. Starting.
I just wanted to say a couple of things about this program and Lieutenant Colonel Harris. She is one of the most amazing student advocates that you've ever met. So not only does she run an incredible program and teaches kids to be great leaders, but she takes care of every one of our students. I cannot tell you how many times I receive emails that say, hey, there's a student and I'm concerned and I've assigned them a mentor and here's my plan for them and I'm going to get them on track. She cares about their academics, about their personal lives, about their futures, and she builds that into every cadet in the program. They take care of each other like family. The more kids that we can get in this program, the more that will benefit. I'm a huge believer in the work that she does and these amazing humans. I get to hang out with this crew quite a bit. I get to see them do their things, and they're the best of the best. These are some of the greatest kids in our school. They value academics, they value each other, and that's a large part because of Colonel Harris and the work that she does to build that into her program. So I'm super proud that they're at our school.
Thank you. Let's have you guys come right over here to the front, and we'll come down from the bench, and we'll get a group photo.
Yeah, trophy, you gotta come, for sure. You gotta bring your bling.
We shake some hands here, so congratulations.
Because there's times that they're like, oh,
Okay, thank you, everyone. That was terrific. Thank them again, Colonel Harris.
I missed the rivalry.
I think we'll move on public comment? Is that okay?
Thank you guys, appreciate it.
Thank you. So now, yeah, I'd like to move on to public comment if we could. If not, anything else, I guess we'll move on to consent items.
Oh, wait, do you have a comment?
We have a comment? Yeah, go ahead. Oh, come up to, yeah, if you could. You bet. If you could, just your name and.
My name's Laura Carlson. I have students at Rocky Mountain. It's more of a question just that I don't feel like has been answered. There's been some questionable books that have been pushed at Rocky Mountain this year, and I know they've been taken out of the school and they've been put on parole until summer. But I'm wondering as far as the block that's been put up between the parents and the teachers and why that is taking place. I tried several times over and over to schedule appointments with my kids' teachers about those books and the situation in the classroom, and there has been put up a wall. I have not been allowed, the one teacher won't even answer my emails at this point. So I'm wondering, I need an explanation of why that wall is there, how that helps the parent-teacher-student relationship, and how that's gonna be changed going forward.
That's not really something that we're gonna do in board meeting. This section is for you to come up and make a comment, which you have, and we appreciate that. I think that our staff has spent a lot of time in making sure this was handled correctly. We're happy about the way that it's been handled. We continue to work on these policies and moving forward, but as far as your question, I'm happy to have directors or myself meet with you if you want to schedule an appointment with Stacy, and we can answer your question and talk about appropriate ways to move forward. But it's not to be. This is not how we would handle it in an open board meeting.
Okay, because I've talked to a couple other people that I am assuming are here tonight.
And I think they've worked really hard to address your concerns and to make sure these books were removed. And our board's very resolute not to have any material that's inappropriate for children. And I think they've stood behind that stance, and we're working hard to make sure we have the right policies in place. And I think that we agree with I think our philosophies are very similar with the philosophies of yourself and other parents, that these things need to be rooted out as quickly as possible. And if you'd like to schedule a time, we'd be happy to do that.
Okay, because that's not my concern. My concern at this point is the wall that was put up between the parents and the teachers, and I'm not the only parent that feels that way.
We're not going to talk about teachers in an open board meeting. We'll be happy to talk with you about this at the appropriate time, which will be here at the district office.
Okay, I'll try and set up an appointment on my work schedule.
That'll be fine, thank you.
I've tried before.
If you want to give Stacy your phone number right now, we'll be sure and get a hold of you.
Okay, yeah, any other comments? Okay, thank you. We'll end public comment at this time, and we'll move into consent items.
I move that we approve consent items as outlined.
Second.
Opposed? Comment? Okay, the consent items are approved. Oh yeah, need to make it, sorry, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, moving on to action items, I guess. Jason Watt?
I am here to recommend approval of the Wasatch High School attendance policy. It's been out for review for some time. We discussed this at some length in a study session, I think last time. We have received no further comment on it.
Jason, I apologize. I got an email today with some public comment this afternoon. I'm assuming this is just the venue. It was from a couple teachers who were just asking where we had put, and I don't even know if this is possible, but, how when the absences are excused and turned into excused absences, if there was a way to distinguish, and maybe I didn't understand correctly, but distinguish between excused absence and excused tardy. Do we have that already established in this?
Is there a difference between excused absence and excused tardy? That seems like a procedural thing that we could work out
That we
with
could
the high school
add in? Okay,
administration, yeah.
perfect. Okay, thank you.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the Wasatch High School attendance policy.
Second? I mean,
Is there a second?
Oh, I thought you said second.
No, sorry.
Oh, second.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Passes.
I would now make the same motion for the bullying, cyberbullying, harassment, and hazing policy updates. These updates were made to keep our policy in compliance with recent legislation. And it's also been out for review for some period of time and no public comment.
I entertain a motion.
I move that we approve the bullying, cyberbullying, harassment, and hazing policy as outlined.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, Sean Kelly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We had quite a bit of discussion on this in a study session earlier. This AJAX, I think it's is it AJAX?
Yeah, I don't, close enough, I guess.
AEGIX,
I wanna tell them they gotta
safety
make an easier
application.
name.
We had a good discussion about that, and I motion that we table this until the board can have some more, discussion about it and further, and better understand it.
Second, I second.
Okay.
Any other comment on that? I think we spoke about that in study session that, and I think it's a good opportunity for us to review, to look at this. It was a great presentation we had. Very, very interesting technology at our fingertips, and, but I think we need a little further talk and review points, so.
Well,
I'll
and
take that.
I appreciated in the study session that we had representation from the sheriff and the city.
Yeah.
Because we want them as our partners. They are our partners, and we want input from them. And I think this will give us a little bit more time to chat with them and work it out so that when it does come back, it's exactly the way everyone involved needs it.
Okay. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. We're gonna table that, so thanks, Sean.
We'll have the next one.
Got another one? Number 4. Go ahead.
So, last month we talked about a single source to remodel the second floor financial department. And we had a bid to do that. I neglected to approve the furniture that goes into that remodel, which again is a single source bid by what was it called again? Workspace Elements is our sole source bidder. This is for the furniture to go in those 2 offices, to put a wall where Stacy sits and to make that more secure. So that's the current bid. Again, it's a single source. So tonight I recommend that you approve this single source purchase of the furniture for $17,981.68 to finish that remodel.
I entertain a motion.
Okay, I'll make the motion. Motion to approve, can you go back to the top, sorry?
Workspace Elements.
Motion to approve Workspace Elements furniture in the amount of $17,981.68.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And actually, can I have a comment on that? Just,
Go ahead.
I'm I as well, but I'm just wondering for those who might be listening and who, I've had this question before, can you explain single source?
So the single source means there's only one company
Yep.
who provides the element we're purchasing, whether it's furniture, a car, a computer program. They are the only people that sell the item we're interested in. And so this place is the only people that provide this service. So we have single source in lots of areas.
The specs for this
appreciate that.
job are very specific as it relates to the type of furniture we're looking for. We're counting this as temporary. As our school district grows, our our district office on occasion grows as well, and so as we're trying to do some remodeling and create some extra space, it's important that we think it's wise that we do it in more of a temporary manner, and the type of system that we're looking for is considered a single source resource, so that's what brings us to this.
I appreciate that. I know it's, we understand it, but I know a lot of time the public's
Yeah,
like,
we have a
"What?"
lot of education lingo.
Yes, we do, so thank you, I appreciate that.
I think the other thing I want to comment to point out is for people who are listening to understand what is going on up there. They're creating separate kind of, like you mentioned, safety, secure, and more space, dividing areas up for more office space. So it's a good, practical,
solution,
efficient solution that's going on up there. It's not just fluff, so.
Yes.
I like it.
We appreciate you guys doing it. Making the room.
Okay, so I'll restate the, all in favor.
Aye.
So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes.
Thank you.
Okay, libraries material policy by Todd Johnson.
So this policy, as was discussed in the study session previously, is in response to House Bill 374. And this library policy has been put together by a committee of board members, directors, and librarians within our district. The committee's met for at least 4 times, followed the model policy from the state, the Attorney General's memo, UEA recommendations, and come up with this adaptation for Wasatch County School District. It sets forth the purpose of the policy. It addresses how library materials will be selected, and then it establishes our district librarians as certified experts and criterion for selection. It also proposes the review process, which includes an initial screening at the school level, followed by a review committee if necessary, followed by an appeal if necessary, with all forms and documents added to the school website. So it's been my privilege to participate on this committee, and at this point, we would like to recommend that this policy go out for review until next board meeting.
Great.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can we just comment a little bit
go
on
ahead.
this? Just for people who are here and whoever's listening in, this is a very thorough policy that our committee has spent hours upon hours. Board member Allen sat on the committee, and it's a very thorough process. There are clear steps that the policy goes through, and I just really like this. Do you want to add?
I just want to say thank you to Director Johnson, Director Watt, to our librarians especially. We put in a lot of time on this. We have a model policy that I feel like is a reflection of how we are at Wasatch. We're different than Alpine, we're different than Salt Lake, we're Wasatch. And this is very much in line with who we are and how I think it's appropriate, and it follows the guidelines outlined by the AG's office. And I've spoken with state school board members, and this is exactly what they meant for us to do. So I just appreciate everyone's effort. We had a lot of meetings, we had emails, and I just want to say thank you for all of your hard work, and to our directors as well. I think we came out with a really good product in this policy.
Okay, again, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion passes. Okay, thanks, Todd. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, if not, board report, anything?
Well, I
Superintendent
think,
report.
I was
Go
gonna
ahead.
say, I can report USBA.
Yeah, go ahead.
USBA, we had our board meeting as well. We talked about this in study session for master board certification, but also as a reminder, we have our annual conference coming up in January for all of us. USBA is is the state association for school boards, and they provide a lot of training and a lot of resources for our boards. So it was a good meeting. You guys will have the email as well, the takeaways. There's a lot of good things coming up, and going into legislative session, we're gonna need to be up there.
You know, if I can't even say it.
The master board certification,
No, do you know
ask me later, Corey.
if Finance 101 in the Buckhorn room is gonna be?
You're gonna have to talk to President Hansen about that.
Okay, I just
We'll
wondered
take
if
it up
that was
with
gonna
him.
be available.
Okay, let's move on to superintendent report, if we could.
I'm sorry.
Well, a couple of things, I represent the 5A and the 6A superintendents on the High School Activities Board of Trustees. And, this is a realignment year, so that process is just starting to ramp up, and, Wasatch High School could definitely be, will definitely be a bubble school, meaning that they could end up in 6A, or we may end up, we may get left in 5A. There's a few different criteria that allows a student, allows a school to have a different placement if they're in that range, in that bubble range. And so it'll be interesting to see where we end up, and we'll keep you posted, but that's...
What's your feeling?
Well, I'm hopeful, especially with, with the fact that we are beginning a second high school, and which will change things. I'm hopeful we can maybe stay 5A. That's been a good league for us, but I think our numbers certainly warrant us going 6A. So it's just gonna depend on, if they went strictly by the numbers, I believe we'd be in 6A. If there's some reason to keep us with the current league that we're in, or other reasons out there, then there's a possibility that we could stay 5A.
How many realignments do we have between now and the second?
Well, they do realignment, which is
Every
a
2
relatively new thing. It's every 2 years, so
Okay.
we'll have another one coming up soon. Then I just remind the board, we've got our national, we have our state conference coming up first, the 5th and the 7th, as board member Allen mentioned. Corey, I'll get you a front row seat, Finance 101, and if you wanna try 102, if you feel like you're up to it, we can do that as well.
I'm gonna probably talk to President Hansen about that and see which one he
Okay.
thinks is the best one to go to.
And,
Oh, I forgot, Day on the Hill, if you wanna bring it.
Day on the Hill,
It's February 6th this year.
February 6th, the school board day on the Hill, so everybody that can make it down to the Capitol, I'll probably be there that day, and, that's
February 6th?
Yep.
February 6th. And then, our national conference, Stacy, can you help me with the dates on our NSBA? It's at the beginning of our
March,
spring break.
I think it's March 31st
So,
to April 3rd, only
please,
because I was looking at it today.
Stacy will be working on that, and any questions, you're welcome to give her a call, or as we plan to go there. And I think we've learned that the time we spend even away from the district and involved in professional development as a board is valuable time, and it really ends up being a good investment for the future, for the board to be around other board members and to be at these conferences and have time with each other in a little different setting than just a formal meeting. So strongly encourage all of you to come that can. That's all I have, Mr. Barrett.
Thank you. Any other comments? Board members? Keith? Got anything? Thank you. Okay, if not, I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
Favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Passes.